But this timeline matters so much because the longer the time frame, the more powerful your money becomes. So let's say one of your goals is 20 years away. Maybe it's retirement, maybe it's funding your kids' university years down the line. For long-term goals like that, you've got one of the most powerful forces on your side, and that is time. And this is backed by a century of financial history. Over the last 100 years, anyone who invested their money into the S&P 500 and held their investments for a minimum of 20 years never lost money, not once. In every 20-year stretch, the market delivered a positive return. And even in the weakest period, the return was still over 4%, except for one unusual case where if someone sold their investment in 1948 and bought in 1928, they would have returned 2.86% rather than the minimum 4% they would have got in any of the other 20-year periods. 79% of the time, the returns were 8% or higher, and 59% of the time, they were 10% or higher. Why am I saying this? Let's translate those numbers into real life. So, if you had invested $100,000 and left it alone for 20 years, a 4.4% return would have turned that $100,000 into $219,000. An 8% return would have turned it into $460,000, and a 10% return would have turned that your $100,000 into $670,000. That's nearly 7x your savings. It's about making your money work hard for you and letting the market do what it's historically done to get you to your goals faster.